What's good, y'all? It's your girl, Dr. Beauty, and we have so much to unpack. This is the review for Insecure Season 4, Episode 10, Lowkey Lost. Before we get into it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. Let's get started. So the episode opens up at a farmer's market, and we see Issa just being Issa, trying to barter. Lawrence is in the background making a very important phone call. So he's walking over towards Issa, and we can assume that this is about his job interview. So turns out that we're right, and Lawrence actually got the job. And Lawrence is asking Issa how she feels, whether or not distance is going to come in between them. And it seems like Issa is willing to drop everything and move to San Francisco with Lawrence. And I was very shocked about this. And I say that with all the love and all the respect in the world for Issa. But baby girl, you just got your career started. And Lawrence is shifty. He's not even sure if he wants to be with you or not. He's still going back and forth between you and Condola. At this point, fix it, Jesus. So then we come into a shot where Molly and Andrew are at a company dinner or function of hers. And it seems very proper. Everyone's dressed in business attire and kind of having lighthearted fun, but not really all the way turned up. This is clearly not Andrew's scene, and you can just tell by his body language that he's not trying to be there. So Molly's junior staff member comes over and invites Molly and Andrew to an after event that they're having, and Molly just goes on ahead and decides for both of them that they're gonna go. And clearly Andrew's probably tired, he's had a long day, or it's just not his scene, and this is the beginning of more and more tension between Andrew and Molly. So then we take it to the barbershop, and Issa came to talk to Nathan about an event that they're having at the barbershop. So she just wants to get an idea of the space that's there. And Nathan introduces Issa to everyone in the barbershop, but no one could care less. And it's just kind of another awkward situation between Issa and Nathan, because she's still trying to set those boundaries between herself and Nathan, and she's telling him, I appreciate your friendship, but I'm still riding with Lawrence. And he's clearly bothered by that, and he opens up and he's honest, and he says, I really do apologize for our conversation last time, but I just have to let you know my true feelings. I don't like you with Lawrence. And she's like, well, I'm gonna stick with him. And I really do appreciate how highly Nathan speaks of Issa all the time, even though she's not that confident in herself, but he's always telling her how she's making moves, which pretty much none of her friends have done. Now, I have to compliment the panning in this episode. It's absolutely gorgeous. And we get into this next scene with Molly and Andrew, and Andrew's clearly over it, but still not willing to talk about what's really on his mind. So he decides that, hey, the reunion for Looking for LaToya is on. Let's just watch that. And Molly's like, oh, no, I'm tired. So he says, okay, I'm going to watch it. And you don't worry, I'm not going to spoil it for you. And she's like, oh, you wouldn't dare watch it without me. So Andrew just blows up, and he's like, look, I've been bending over backwards for you. You never make any compromises for me. And Molly feels as though she has been making compromises for him, and that her inviting him to her work event was her compromising, because he complained before that she was spending too much time at work. But Molly only sees things one way, and this is a reason why they've been having so many problems. But this very deep and necessary conversation gets interrupted by multiple phone calls from Kelly. So I think as viewers, our instincts told us that something wasn't right, and none of us could have guessed, at least I couldn't guess, that it had anything to do with Tiffany. So apparently Tiffany has been missing for several hours, and her husband's freaking out. Her mom and sister appear to be at the house as well, trying to look for her. And this is a moment where Issa and Molly really have to put their differences aside. They just got done telling each other that they weren't friends anymore in last week's episode, and now they got to look for Tiffany. And so this is the moment when the series decides to take a step further in the discussion of postpartum depression. So the first place they look is a local movie theater, and they decide to split up and just try to show Tiffany's picture to everyone who works there and ask if her picture looks familiar to them. So Kelly decides to go talk to the security guard, and Issa and Molly are trying to figure out what the best place is for them to go to in the movie theater. They end up deciding to split up and look for their own clues. And Derek is just so worried. I felt so bad for him in this moment. Eventually it's revealed that Derek got a message for Lyft, and it was a $6 charge, around $6, and Issa, being a former Lyft driver, is able to figure out that it should be a location that's not too far, 2 miles from the movie theater. And so it ends up being a bar where they all went to before. So while at the bar, they look at the surveillance footage and they see that Tiffany left the bar, got on a bus. So they decide to get on the bus and take that same route, because apparently Tiffany stopped at a hotel around 10 p.m. So you can see that Derek is super stressed, but he had no idea the depth of what she was going through. This is a medical condition that requires therapy and even in some cases medication, and if it gets serious enough, hospitalization. So unfortunately, no one saw how severe her case was, and even her friends didn't see any signs whatsoever. She would make comments here and there, but they had no idea. So we have this dude on the bus trying to bother Kelly and talking about, oh, you're what I envisioned my inner black girl to look like. And Kelly could have popped him right there. But she just realized that they passed the hotel that Tiffany has been confirmed to be at. So she's trying to tell the bus driver to stop, and he's like, I can't hear you unless you stand behind that line. So she steps back, she repeats herself, and he's still giving them issues and like, oh, this is not part of my route, I can't stop. So Issa sees that Kelly notices the button. She's like, just press it. She presses it, and the bus driver signals the cops nearby that they need to come help him. So they call the cops, and they have this whole situation with that guy from earlier and his girlfriend or whoever that is. And I don't know about y'all, but my heart stopped with everything going on right now. I had high-key anxiety at this moment, but Kelly was getting loud. Everyone's getting loud, and she's like, I don't care if you tase me. I've been tased before. And they remind her that, yeah, but girl, you also peed yourself when you got tased. So Yvonne pulls out her lawyer voice. She's like, excuse me, I just want to know why you guys are talking to them and not us. And the cops are like, yeah, we're not getting into this tonight. So they let them go. And Issa and her crew are free to continue their journey looking for Tiffany. So finally, the crew gets the room number, and it ends up being room 505. So Derek is preparing himself mentally, and I don't know, to me it seemed as though he was afraid that maybe somebody else could be in that room. Who knows? He knocks on the door, she answers, and he's like, it's me. She opens the door, and her girls just almost lost it, because this is not the Tiffany that we know. She says in the after show that she didn't get a manicure for weeks, just to show the neglect that this character's been going through. And she just apologizes. She says, I'm so sorry, I don't know what to say. And this point is very vulnerable for both characters, and it's one of the deepest moments of acting that I've seen on the series. And just look at the girls. They were so devastated, and they're probably beating themselves up as well. Like, how do we miss all these signs? But I just know Tiffany's going to be okay, and it will be very interesting to see in season 5 how they further address this topic of postpartum depression, especially in the African American community. So we get a nice aerial view of a beautiful mural of Kobe and Gianna, and then also Nipsey on this beautiful basketball court. And I have to say again, I really like seeing more of the neighborhood in this show. It's very beautiful. And we have Andrew and Molly having a sit down talking about what went wrong. And like I said before, Andrew is more than over it, but Molly really wants to try. And you can even tell from their body language, Molly is turned fully to Andrew. Andrew's facing forward, and he's already made up his mind that this relationship is over. Molly says, I'm willing to go to therapy. I'm willing to compromise. I'm willing to talk this out. But Andrew says, this is more than just a situation that happened with my brother. This is everything. I've been feeling trapped this whole time. And I just knew from the jump they were not a good pair. Both of them don't speak up when they have issues. Both of them try to compromise in their way, and they were both trying to make this relationship work because this is the furthest that either of them have come with anyone when it comes to dating. But Andrew asked Molly a good question. What are you fighting for? And clearly, I think in this moment, Molly's just fighting to be right. So Issa's minding her business. She hasn't slept all night because they spent the entire day looking for Tiffany, and Lawrence comes over. I just knew this was going to go left. Just look at the look on Lawrence's face. I knew this was not going to work, and it was too good to be true. But anyway, Lawrence is like, yo, Issa, just got to let you know, condolences came over, and she told me she's preggers. They pulled a Derwin and Melanie on us. Mother effers. So Issa does not know how to take this in. And guys, I really do think that this conversation is the one that Lawrence was supposed to have with condolences the first time she called him, and then Issa ended up staying over. But my thing is, look, condolences tells Lawrence, hey, I don't need anything from you. I don't expect anything from you, but I'm just coming to let you know so you can be as involved as you want to. And I'm fine. Okay, girl, if you're fine, why did you have to go and tell Lawrence that you're pregnant? You could have just never contacted him again. You could have just moved somewhere and just been the single mom that you wanted to be. But no, you're doing this to trap Lawrence on purpose. And just look at her. Despicable. Now, I'll go ahead and play devil's advocate and argue on the side that, yes, Condola is probably getting up there in age, and we now know that probably in her previous marriage, she found out she was pregnant, terminated it, and then her husband at that time found out, got mad, and he left. And now she's getting up there in age and she wants to have a child, and this is important to her. It's just the timing of everything. But Lawrence knew what he was doing. I mean, back in a couple seasons ago, Lawrence was just getting STDs left and right, just doing the most. He should have known better. So I don't know about y'all, but I do think that Lawrence is going to end up back with Condola just because he feels guilty and wants to raise this child. So here we are. Things just don't work out for Issa ever. Or if they do in one area of her life, it's just a whole disaster in another area of her life. So here we are. Looks like Condola is going to be in season 5, whether we like it or not. Lowkey seems like Lawrence was trying to see if Issa was still going to be with him. Like, boy, bye. Are you serious? No, you have too much drama. Just go. No, like, you're moving to San Francisco, you have a baby on the way. Let Issa grow and get someone better. You don't deserve her. So Issa's like, enough is enough. She just had to go on her balcony and light one up because this has been a long couple weeks. She has been through it, and she's just thinking about life, just thinking about how everything is going left. I feel you, girl. But now we have Issa meeting up with none other than Molly. Now, I knew Molly was going to come back when Andrew broke up with her. I just knew it. But you know what? Both of them are in a very crappy place right now. And what better way to end the season than at their favorite Ethiopian spot, just talking about how much life sucks. It's really nice to see our girls back together, but I just hope that their friendship lasts in the next season because they went through many ups and downs. There you have it. It's a wrap. Honestly, this was a very, very good season. Condola's going to stick around, probably have the baby. Lawrence is probably going to try to get back in Lisa's life. We got to see the relationship or lack thereof between Issa and Nathan. We got to see if Andrew really ended the relationship with Molly officially or if they're going to still try to make things work. And honestly, this is probably an unpopular opinion, but I really do think that Molly and Torian are somehow going to end up together. They have some tension between them, and I think it's more than just that case going left. Let me know what you think in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and until next time, deuces.